car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment.
And what a game we've got here as we welcome our visitors, the Nottingham Wildcats. So let's get the action underway. Welcome your visitors on court. Wearing number 1, Reed Aston. Wearing 2, Mason Cook. At 6, Charity. At 7, Dallas Misses. At 9, Danny. At 10, Georgie Leno. At 11, Haley Shaw. At 12, Marley Stewart. At 22, Intro Whittington. And at 30, Kennedy Nichols. Your head coach, Henrik Fuller, and your assistant coach of the Wildcats, Callum Burton. They are your visitors, the Nottingham Wildcats. And we turn our attention now to welcome your new faces and returning faces of your team. They are, of course, the Newcastle Eagles.
Karen Burton have something to do with another club or with a...
She's been Nottingham before, she's done London, she's done out. Mainly this club though, I think in her lifetime. Karen Burton.
Yeah, she used to be the head
She's
coach.
also been an England assistant.
Maybe I've heard of
She's also got a pretty loud voice.
low voice. I think they're live as well, by the way.
Eh?
I think they're live as well. Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent stuff, good stuff.
To welcome your team, the Newcastle Eagles, standing at 6'3", playing at Long Beach University, England GB International, wearing 3, Chloe Gaynor, wearing 4, Pennsylvania, laying all the stats over there. Katie Noland. And she will wear 33 when she returns from injury. Adult on Island, New York. Merriman University, Boston. She is on the bench. Courtney Lassen. Your head coach, Noah Castro, and assistant coach Bruce Owen. They are your Newcastle Eagles.
Scores on the starting line. Come on.
We're live, yeah? Okay, so good evening and welcome to the Vertu Motors Arena for tonight's WBBL clash between the visitors, the Nottingham Wildcats, and the hometown Newcastle Eagles. This is the Wildcats' first game of the season. They were due to play the Gloucester City Queens last week, but as we know, the Gloucester City Queens have dropped out of the league, so they haven't played a game yet. The Eagles, meanwhile, played up at Caledonia Gladiators last week and was soundly beaten 76-44. Eagles still waiting for one or two pieces of their jigsaw to come in, and also, once again, unfortunately, Courtney Klassen, who missed the whole of last season through an injury, but was invited back for this season, has picked up another injury in pre-season training and is out for quite some time. So once again, the Eagles having problems with their roster when they thought they were going to have a much more settled side this year, and they haven't managed it. Nottingham, I believe, are at full strength. I think they may be one of their bench players. Grace Ashton is not available tonight, but other than that, they are at full strength. As ever, I have alongside me my co-commentator, Dave Eldican. And Dave, your thoughts, please?
Well, I think there's very few pointers tonight because I'm not sure past history counts for much with so many new faces on both sides. What we do know is behind closed doors, both teams have played and lost to the Hatters. And then the other point of interest as well is that both teams have played Caledonia, one in the league and one in a friendly. You've mentioned the big defeat for the Eagles. On the other bench there, the Nottingham Wildcats in their friendly took Caledonia to 1 point. So that's probably the biggest pointer that we've got. In terms of players of interest, you've got Mal Stewart, who averaged 7.8 points and 5.2 rebounds per game last year. We've got new Americans on their side in Kyla Shaw, so we're not too sure there. But we are certainly sure about Kennedy Nicholas, who was the league leader in rebounding. And probably the most interesting stat of all from the Caledonia game when the Eagles is only 4 people scored, and it's one of the few games, if the only game, where the bench didn't score any points whatsoever. That shouldn't happen because Rachel Bland and Ruth Davis Thompson are certainly capable of adding some points. I'm told that the one real highlight of that game against Caledonia was the performance of new player Zoe Willis. So I'm keenly looking forward to seeing her play tonight.
So I have the starting fives, and we start with the visitors, Nottingham Wildcats. They start with number 1, Brea Ashton, who is their captain. Number 9, Jane Giles. Number 11, Kayla Shaw. Number 12, Mal Stewart. And number 30, Kennedy Nicholas, which is pretty much what we would expected. For the Eagles, it's number 3, Chloe Gaynor. Number 4, Zoe Willis. Number 5, and captain Marina Fernandez. Number 8, Rachel Bland. And number 32, Katie Nolan. Katie Nolan, who on debut last week in that defeat had 14 points and 15 rebounds. And Chloe Gaynor, I think, had 15 points as well. Not a lot else happened, unless you want to talk about Eagles' lack of a point guard means Marina Fernandez quite often has the ball, and she had 11 turnovers in the game.
Well, I think on the right night that Chloe Gaynor is capable of scoring 20 points plus. I've seen Maria Fernandez get hot. Nolan obviously is comfortable playing with the back to the basket. So a lot depends on Zoe Willis and what we can get from the other players.
And we're underway, and Chloe Gaynor won the tip. And there's a lovely pass in by Katie Nolan into Chloe Gaynor, and Chloe Gaynor lays the first points of the game in. And that's and also a very early foul there by Zoe Willis. Hand check on Brie Ashton. We've just talked before the game, Dave. This Kennedy Nicholas, 10.1 points last year, but 13.8 rebounds.
Yeah, certainly king of the board, queen of the board, should I say.
So there's Giles linking up with Shaw. Shaw goes for the three, nets the three. First shot in the WBBL, sorry, from Kayla Shaw. First points for the three-pointer. There's Fernandez into Chloe Gaynor. Chloe Gaynor does well to get that one, but ball comes back. Katie Nolan does well, and that's a foul. Kayla Shaw, the number 11 for Nottingham, went to Azusa Pacific. So my question for you, Dave, is who do you know very well who went to Azusa Pacific?
Nobody.
No, you do.
Do I?
Yes. A legend of Northeast. 2 from 2 from beyond the arc from Kayla Shaw.
We certainly said this was a girl to watch.
Yeah. Fernandez goes in. What a great pass by Fernandez, and a lovely finish by Katie Nolan. Well guarded by Jane Giles. Katie Nolan. Ashton, the point guard. Yes, Giles. The pass to Zoe Willis, and a great break by Rachel Bland, but she can't finish it. Good basketball by the Eagles, though.
Well, I said that Bland capable of scoring, as is Ruth, and Rachel should have opened the account there with 2 points.
Nice play by number 12, Maul Stewart, who, as Dave said, was with the Hatters last year. Just moved across to Nottingham, possibly to get more game time. She's starting tonight. Zoe Willis, Giles all over her, but she does well to get it to Katie Nolan.
Be making those sort of mistakes on fouls.
Oh, great pass from Shaw, but Nicholas can't finish, but she goes after the rebound and gets it. It's actually Maul Stewart, not Nicholas, my fault.
And she's lighting it up from distance at the moment.
3 of 3, 9 points, 9 of the 11. Gaynor was looking for Fernandez. Nice turnaround by Chloe Gaynor, but she can't make it. Stewart takes the rebound, gives it to Ashton. Shaw driving to the basket, but not giving it. Stewart for 3, that's off the backboard. Katie Nolan does a good job in boxing out. It's the shot. Ashton, this time it's Giles for 3, but that's way too far. Maul Stewart gets in. Referee's allowing an awful lot of contact under the basket. Imani Whittington comes in for Kennedy Nicholas. Early time out for Newcastle, probably trying to address the 3-point shooting of Nottingham. They've made 4 of 4. Last one made by Giles pushes them up to an 8-point lead, and it doesn't feel like an 8-point lead, but it is all there to see.
It doesn't feel like it, and you can't say they're running a primary break because they're not really getting down the floor ahead and with numbers. But what they are doing has been taken.
I'm sure that's what Noella Cachera will be talking about. Eagles starting 5 comes back out.
Well, what she'll have been talking about is against that type of secondary break situation where there's a green light for anybody to put up an open shot, is you can't just retreat and back off. There's got to be a quicker close down of the
Cartwheel.
Yeah, cartwheel degree difficulty 6.
And well, this lady looks as if she's here to play. It's 11 points personal already. Zoe Willis having problems with Jane Giles. Jewellery taken off by Rachel Bland. We can get back underway. Fernandez guarded by Shaw. Gives it to Willis. Willis tries to turn the corner with Giles just sticking to a light glue, but she's done well to get around there. Great rebound by... Well, Kayla Shaw in for another steal and another 2 points. This girl's rating's going to be off the charts at this rate. 20-8. Careless ball handling, really.
Saw the driving
Ashton.
lane, she took it, and a pretty cool finish as well, certainly with her left hand.
Charity for three is off. Great rebound by Chloe.
That ball's
Gaynor.
got to get out quicker than that. The awareness of the person who's taken the rebound, and secondly, the other players breaking into positions when they're easily...
For Nottingham.
Well, it's a passing clinic and all, with some excellent shooting to finish it.
Fernandez drives coast to coast, makes it though. In for the Eagles. Charity gives it to... Well, it was Ashton. I couldn't see because Kendrick Livewood was standing. She thought about shooting the three, but that's not her forte. Bray Ashton though it is, and she's off the rim. Katie Nolan tidies up for the Eagles and gives it to Chloe Gaynor, who's now playing point forward. Into Fernandez. And that's Ashton off, Giles on. For Nottingham, Eagles ball end line, sideline, sorry. Fernandez to inbound. Burnley comes off the screen, gives it back to Fernandez. Fernandez for three is off. Katie Nolan brilliantly boxed out by Kennedy Nicholas. Kennedy Nicholas does shoot the long one, doesn't make it. Imani Whittington does well, gets the ball off Katie Nolan to get the sideline possession. 1:39 to go, 15-23. Giles for three is too long. Katie Nolan, wow, that was a great rebound. That was a rebound.
Doing is just dribbling, heads down, no looking ahead at all, so they're not able to put early pressure on the Wildcats defence.
Oh, Marina
Exactly
Fernandez
the
is
opposite of the way
fantastic.
the Wildcats are playing the game.
Charity to put it in. This girl's only 17-year-old. Plays for England in the 18s. Jane Giles for three is off. Right on the buzzer, but it did hit the rim. Kennedy Nicholas drives hard. Foul on Rachel Bland. 2 shots to come. Zoe Willis comes back. Kennedy Nicholas on the line. Makes the first.
Have done because they saw the passing opportunities, they took them, they advanced the ball, and they actually ran their own type of secondary break. Secondary break simply meaning that the defence is...
8 seconds on the shot clock. Back out to Fernandez for three. That's off. That's going to be a foul on Marina Fernandez, is it? Leovold Charity made the inside cut from the outside, but the pass went outside. 3.1 seconds to go. Zoe Willis looks in need of a break.
I think she's taking a bump.
Subs all over the place with 3.1 seconds to go. It makes you wonder what people can do with 3.1 seconds, but never mind. Eagles home debut for Alice McKenzie.
The most important thing is that they don't let Nottingham score, which they haven't.
So that's the end of the first quarter. 25 to Nottingham, 18 to the Eagles. Normally I would give you some stats, but the WBBL stats are down, so I'll get some stats for you at half time. But the one stat which is irrefutable is the fact that Nottingham lead by 7.
And them to make the score sort of semi-respectable, but that first quarter, they absolutely have to address what happened in that first quarter. There was no constructive transition defence whatsoever, and the offence involved in every player made. But they've certainly got to play more heads-up basketball and be aware of where teammates are, try to advance the ball quicker down the floor, and they've got the club.
It'll be Eagles ball to get us underway in the second quarter. Macy Cook on for the Wildcats. Kayla,
Oh, that's a rough call.
Yeah, and Rachel.
She's for the bench.
Rachel's got 3 of them. Chloe Gaynor makes it up the rebound off Zoe Willis's missed 3. Young Charity comes in and out. Leo Vold for 3 is off. Chloe Gaynor takes a great rebound. Be careful. Whittington was coming right behind that. And then there's Katie Nolan, and again seals our player and makes the 2. Leo Vold's got a tough ask there. I think Katie Nolan's been very impressive, Dave.
Well, I'm not sure they quite understand how they need to defend her at the moment. They're unsure whether to play behind her or to try and get along, half a way around her. But she's sealing so well if you get halfway around her. It might well just be as good to play behind her. Because she is looking to roll to the basket. She's not looking to shoot over anybody.
This is the extra one though, unfortunately, but that is in double figures.
This will be a result for the Eagles ladies if they can get this deficit down to about 5 by the end of this quarter. I would say that would be job well done. There's some areas they're improving.
Ashton goes for the 3. It's in and out, and that should be an Eagles ball. Yes, it is. Chance to cut the gap again. 4:02, 28-36.
They've pretty much taken away. Let's give the Eagles some credit. They've pretty much taken away all the easy options in that secondary break situation. They've tidied up the dribbling in terms of they're looking to dribble more with a purpose, try to create things off the dribble if they need to dribble. They're leading to a little bit more ball movement.
And there's another foul down Charity.
If they can keep swinging this ball around, then Katie Nayland's going to be coming harder to guard. And especially when you got Fernandez who can play an inside-outside game with her, and Gaynor who can probably get in and get the rebounds.
Zoe Willis makes the first.
And she's got decent form on a free throw. No reason at all why she can't be hitting shots from outside.
One's a bit long, but Katie Nolan gets the rebound. Gives it back to Chloe Gaynor.
See, Chloe was absolutely wide open there for a shot off to that outlet from Katie. Go for it, Marina, put it up.
Tried to penetrate, didn't make it, but Nottingham have thrown it away at the other end.
Marina will be spending next week working on her pound dribble. Now Ruth's open.
But not now. I get exactly what you mean. 22.
Yeah, but the good news is, she was open, but the good news is Chloe's continued and they've committed a silly foul which puts Chloe to the line. So, sometimes it doesn't matter how you get back in the game, you just get back in the game. And the target here is to try and get this deficit down 5 or under in this quarter.
So again, nets the first. Nicholas, Stewart and Shaw about to return for Wildcats. That's short of Chloe Gaynor, but that might be very close to. I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought that was. I thought that was an Eagles ball.
Yeah, I think
But obviously,
I did as well, Dave. But it
can't disagree with that official because he's right on the spot and where,
up
right up in the rafters.
Terrific view, though, isn't it, David? Commentate the game on. So,
well, is she going to risk Rachel back in? I would argue not.
I think Rachel's just making a point. Oh, nice hands by Chloe Gaynor.
Oh, she is.
She is, yeah.
Well, on the plus side, this is a player they need. There's some reason why she thinks she needs to rest Chloe. Probably tiredness, I don't know.
Well, I think
She's probably taking one in the face. But this is a risk. This is a risk. I mean, normally I would say Rachel's a safe person and guarding and knows how to stay out of foul trouble. But tonight, see, look, that Nottingham Wildcats coach needs to get onto these players about taking Rachel on.
There's Nicholas against Nolan. Shot is tough. Ruth Thurnley takes the rebound.
Good outlet. 2 good outlet passes there. And Katie Nolan right down the floor low. That was a really good break.
That's a great pass as well. Rachel Bland can't make the finish. That was a great pass by Zoe Willis. Kayla Shaw, that's also a good pass. Maul Stewart, but she doesn't make it. Ball's around. Rachel Bland tidies up. Nice pass into Zoe Willis.
One more pass. To your right, that's the one.
Oh,
great defense.
Well, yes and no for me, Dave. I'm not sure Ruth Thornley needed to make the extra pass. Rocks the rim, 2:30 to go, 36-30 in favour of the Wildcats. Eagles had a couple of chances to get it closer. Shane Giles doesn't make the three. Wide open she was. Left wide open. Fernandez going to go drive. Misses it. Katie Nolan takes another fantastic offensive rebound and drops it in. Within 4 points now, the Eagles. Good crossover. Kennedy Nicholas for 2. Doesn't make it. Mal Stewart goes second. 1:46 to go. Millie Oates comes back in, as does Chloe Gaynor. Ruth Thornley comes out looking very. Katie Nolan comes out as well. And the Eagles decide to call a timeout. 1:46 to go, and we will go to an advert.
A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail.
So, 1:46 to go, 36-32. Eagles about back where you wanted them to be, Dave. They've even got a chance to possibly get it closer.
They have, yeah, they have. They're slowly but surely improving as this quarter goes along, and you know, still 1:46 to go. Can be no relaxing. They've got to keep doing the good things. They're doing areas that have been shown improvement, which is shutting out their secondary break. They've done that pretty well. I think they're covering weak side drives pretty well, moving the ball better themselves. You know, I've got 5 or 6 really good drills I call finishing at the rim. I think I'll lend them to them for the next week.
I think that was one of the problems. I mean, don't get me wrong, Caledonia were way superior all game, but it was still a problem for the Eagles. They couldn't finish. They finished a little bit better tonight, and I have to say I'm very impressed with Katie Nolan. But at the other end, it's Kennedy Nichols who will go at the line to shoot 2.
Katie Nolan's starting to show she knows what to do.
Nicholas makes the first. It's right up to the line. Checks her feet and flicks it off the rim, front rim, and Chloe Gaynor picks the rebound up, scores at 5. Every time Marina Fernandez gets the ball, she's double teamed.
Well, they know when Nottingham are looking to put that on. That's disappointing. Keep it away from the half. Now that is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
where you
they've
get
got
the
the
ball
reward they wanted. That's exactly what
right
they
into
wanted.
the centre circle. You can then look either way, and nobody can double team that. If they do, then the wings come into play.
Giles for 3 is off. Fernandez takes the rebound. Eagles off and running again. Gaynor into Rachel Bland.
Rachel Blunt took up an excellent position there.
Fernandez drives at the basket. Oh, doesn't make it though. Candy Nichols comes up with it. Shaw, quick outlet pass to Ashton. Ashton thought about the outlet pass but shoots the 2 instead. I tell you what, that was a brilliant bit of boxing out by Rachel Bland on Miles Stewart.
Yeah, spotted that. Perfect. Good commentary.
Chloe Gaynor for 3, heaves it up, doesn't go. Rachel Bland gets the hustle. And I think it might have been called a foul rather than a held ball. Foul is called on 9.
Well, I think the Nottingham coach has every right to challenge that decision. That's 2 players fighting for the ball on the floor. Neither of those 2 players deserved or justified him calling a foul on either of them.
I think you've only got to look at the Eagles bench to
Well,
confirm what you're saying,
you know,
Dave.
you've got that really debatable third foul on Rachel Bland, and you know this is a game when if the referees blew every single contact, basketball wouldn't be the game it is.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have to know which contact causes disadvantage and which contact should be allowed to go on. Otherwise, we don't have the game that we deserve.
And we just want them to be consistent, don't we, as well? That's it. Rachel Bland knocks one down and comes out for the last 33 seconds. Timeout called by Nottingham Wildcats, and we will go to an advert with the Eagles only trailing by 4. So 33.3 to go. If the Eagles can maintain good defense in the next 33 seconds, possibly even get a shot that could be even closer than what you're hoping for them to be, Dave.
Yeah, I kept looking at the scoreboard, and I don't ever question your maths because you're always right. And you said the Eagles trailed by 4, and it took them an age to put that 35 on. But I knew it was going to go on. Yes, you are. They've got themselves in a good position.
No, if you want to see man-to-man marking, that's exactly it, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, but they've broken beautifully. Nicholas has passed to Ashton into Giles. She turned down the 3, back to Nicholas. Kayla shows the one to watch here. Good defense by the Eagles. Ashton. Good hands by Katie Nolan. Oh, Millie Oates. Unlucky. But they had one to give. Timeout called by Nottingham Wildcats to draw up a play. 12.5 seconds left. And we'll go to another advert.
A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail. which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail.
So 12.5, obviously coach Kendrick Liebert drawing up a play for these last 12.5 seconds, looking to get a 6 or even 7-point lead to take into the locker room. Eagles, what they need to do is just defend like they just defended for the last 12 seconds.
Yeah, and you know, try and do it without fouling, because that would put Eagles are already reached the penalty. One more foul would put Nottingham in the bonus. That's an easy bucket. Make them find it the hard way. And don't foul a jump shot shoot. Don't foul a jump shooter.
Luke Owen doing some great work as assistant coach, because the referees had called two foul shots and the Eagles aren't in the penalty yet. Good hands, good hands. Oh, if Molly Arnold could have just picked that pass quicker.
Drive and kick, drive and kick. Oh, you had the player on the left.
Oh, but she's made the shot herself. You are exactly right, Dave. She had the player on the left, but she decided to go herself, and she's nailed it on the buzzer. And not only did we get back within 5, they got back within 2, and 39-37 at the break. And I think you have to say that the Eagles had an excellent second quarter there.
Did, and the first key was closing them down in having some sort of transition defence structured. They didn't really go and try and jam the outlet, but they did pick up the ball quicker, and they did get more bodies into the key ready to rotate out onto any shooters. So they did that very well. I also think that they're making far better use of the dribble as well now. They're creating more passing opportunities. We just need to finish a little bit better around the rim.
But 37-39 at the break, and anybody's game in the second half, and we'll hopefully be back with some stats in about 10 or so minutes time. But hope you enjoyed the first half. We certainly did, and it's a great second half to look forward to as we come back in about 10 minutes time.
A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail. A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail.
Okay, so we're just about ready to go for the second half here at the Vertu Motors Arena. Half-time score, Newcastle Eagles 37, Nottingham Wildcats 39. We did get some half-time stats, but not necessarily enough time to read them out. Although for Eagles, Katie Nolan has 12 points and 7 rebounds. Marina Fernandez 11 points and 4 rebounds. For Nottingham, Kayla Shaw 20 points and 5 rebounds. And Marl Stewart 7 points and 6 rebounds. Pretty even looking stats you would expect. One of the big differences, Eagles have only shot 8 3-pointers, making 2, and Nottingham have shot 25 3-pointers, made 7.
Well, you're right. It's actually an even game, and even look at the stats until you do a double take on the shooting. Eagles have taken twice as many 2-point shots as Nottingham have, and Nottingham have taken 3 times more 3-point shots. Now, long may live that, because if the Eagles can just finish a little bit better on those 2-point shots, it's looking like an Eagles game.
Turnover there for the Eagles, unfortunately, on the first offense, and we've got Brie Ashton, the Nottingham captain, bringing it up. Kennedy Nicholas, who we said had averaged 13.8 rebounds last season, and she's already got 8 in this first half. And there's Katie Nolan taking that rebound as Ashton's 3-point shot rims out. Zoe Willis for 3, that one's off the rim as well. Touched by Giles. She's trying to look at a picture of innocence. From my viewpoint, that was a clear hand on the ball and it went out, unless she thought it'd come off Rachel Bland last. I don't think it did though. Eagles back on offense. Good defensive seal there by Marl Stewart on Chloe Gaynor, so that when the ball went over the top, Chloe Gaynor couldn't quite get it. Shaw pushes it hard.
One area she needs to tidy up on is the turnovers have been caused mainly by her trying to feed the post.
Marina Fernandez tries to reply for the Eagles, can't make it. Nicholas takes another rebound, feeds Ashton, who's off to the races. Nice behind the back pass. Kayla Shaw though doesn't make the 3 points. Very impressive first half, 20 points. Yes, Marina Fernandez gets the ball out to Rachel Bland. Back to Fernandez. There seems to be a reluctance from certain players in the Eagles side to shoot the ball. Seem to be looking pretty much for Fernandez. Zoe Willis turns the corner and gets all the way to the basket and lays it in. Excellent screen set by Katie Nolan, and she got all the way to the basket and laid it in. We're back to a 2-point ball game. Marl Stewart uses Nolan gets it on the rebound, tidies up. Marl Stewart's shot was short. Here's Chloe Gaynor. She's going to try to go against Stewart. Gives it back to Fernandez. Nice step across. 3-point shot by Marina Fernandez is good. So there's a stop and a 3-pointer, and the Eagles in front 42-41.
Only the second lead of the game.
Ashton almost overdid it. Giles Shaw, she's going to attack the basket. Rachel Bland gets in there, but she's a bundle of energy, Rachel Bland. She doesn't care who she knocks out the road. And unfortunately, that time it was Zoe Willis, our own teammate, who looked as if she was going to pick the ball up. Chloe Gaynor comes off. I know that Chloe Gaynor's not 100% fit, and they're trying to manage her minutes, but she's such an important part of this Eagles outfit. I think Noella Cachera is very, very reluctant to take her off, but she has, and Ruth Thornley's on. Nice back pass by Marl Stewart, but Zoe Willis was able to pick it up. Gives it out to Fernandez, who thought about the 3, but now she goes against the baseline. Bland out to Nolan. Nolan's going to try and drive in. That's
yeah, the issue with Chloe Gaynor has been a groin problem.
She's not sitting down, is she? She's standing up.
Well, I don't know whether it's the issue with the groin or whether it's just, training she's missed, just the lack of fitness.
So Katie Nolan fouled by Kennedy Nicholas. That's Nicholas's 3rd foul. Nolan to the line to shoot 2. Makes the 1st.
Yeah. This lead's so important when you look at the stats. I think the Eagles only led for something like 18 seconds of the first half.
Makes them both. 3-point gap, 44-41, but the Eagles have got to sleep there. Oh, travel called. I think what she tried to do there, Kayla Shaw, was she got the ball in lots of space, and she wanted a quick look down to see whether she was in 3-point land or 2-point land, and by doing so moved her feet.
To me, it just looked like a step back or a side step.
Yeah, well, I think that's what was called. I'm not saying it was a travel or it wasn't, but it was.
Well, if she dribbled the ball on that side step or the back step, then she didn't do anything wrong.
Katie Nolan's so tough under the basket, isn't she? She didn't make that layup, but I mean, she had no right even to get the layup, but didn't make it. Ashton turns the corner. Nolan challenges the shot. Zoe Willis takes the rebound. Gets the ball over. Marina Fernandez does a almost tightrope balancing act to get that ball. Nobody there for her. Oh, nice pass. Great cut by Rachel Bland. And Rachel Bland makes the basket.
Well, you got Ruth Thornley on the score sheet. You got Rachel Bland on the score sheet. Now, I mean, none of this bench not scoring.
46-41. There's a great pass by Marina Fernandez because she looked as if she's gone down a blind alley. Stewart. Shaw. It's going to go one way, then the other. Ruth Thornley. Great defense by Ruth Thornley. Long passes out to Giles. Didn't get it off in time. I think Ruth Thornley's probably done a knee. Yeah, she's having a limp off. Molly Arnold. Crowley Gale back on. Ruth Thornley limps away to the bench. Subs on both sides. Can't keep up with this. Kennedy Nicholas and Jane Giles come off. Natalie Charity and Imani Whittington is on, and it's Rachel Bound to inbound. So Marina Fernandez. She's going to go coast to coast. Is she? Nope. Gives it out. Zoe Willis for three. Oh, that nearly went. Oh.
I think that's gone against Rachel Bland.
It has, yeah. It's a fourth foul. She has to be immediately substituted out.
Innocuous, but technically right in that she did use her hands to push off the defender to get to the ball.
And that's what the referee signaled. Push. 46-41, Eagles lead. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Good ball game, this one. Yeah, sure, she's going to try and get to the basket. Nice floater to Molly Arnold. Possibly had a shot on there, but decided not to take it. Katie Nolan goes back to Molly Arnold. Molly Arnold for three. It's just off. But at least she shot the ball. She was open. She had to shoot the ball. And she's good defense at the other end. Chloe Gaynor gives it to Zoe Willis. Willis attacks the paint. Oh, it just doesn't get the drop. But she's got the steal. Great pass by Marina Fernandez and a foul by Natalie Charity. Eagles really on the ball at the moment, Dave.
Yeah, and Nottingham having to work hard to contain them, and looking at Nottingham's offence, I think we need to share those finishing at the rim drills with the Wildcats this half. I mean, she's going in for a wide open layup and missing everything.
Chloe Gaynor goes to the line to shoot two. Eagles up by 5. Remember, they're down by 2, so they're leading this quarter by 7 points at the moment. I was never that good at maths at school, you know, Dave.
I was pretty good.
Yes, I know you were. But basketball's good for your maths, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chloe Gaynor wipes both feet before dropping, but it did drop. Oh, that one's short, but she gets her own rebound and puts it in for 2. Now that's a 3-point play.
Yeah. Favourite subject was geography and history, and as far as geography is concerned, the Eagles are finding the way to easier buckets, aren't they, in this quarter? That was a good offence. Very, very good offence.
But did miss the shot again.
Excellent screening, and not only that, it was how effective the screener was after they set the screen and flaring to get open.
Oh, great work by Oh, she's hurt. She's fallen on her head. Head injury. Head injury. No. Let's hope this is all right. 'Cause she did hit her head on as she went backwards. Great battling by Katie Nolan.
Yes, it was.
I might be wrong here, Dave. You help me out here. Eagles up by 8, 49-41. I think they've taken the ball a little bit out of Marina Fernandez's hands, and Zoe Willis looks as if she's handling the ball a little bit more.
Certainly making more passes as well this quarter than they did in the start of the game.
But this could be a big moment in the game if Katie Nolan's head's been attended to. We have to hope obviously we want her to be okay, but we want her to be okay and be able to play as well. She's up.
Well, she's getting up herself, which is a good sign.
Yeah, she's asking. Well, she's obviously compass mentis because she's asking for the floor to be mopped as well. Just needs to probably just take a deep breath. She looks a bit of a find, doesn't she, Dave?
She's useful, you know. She gets in there and she's useful with either hand.
We were looking at Lane Murphy, who played for the Eagles last year, came in sort of late and did a good job, but didn't. Pretty similar to sort of Katie Nolan, but Katie Nolan looks just a slightly better finisher, more offensive-minded. Anyway, it's the Wildcats who come forward. 4:12 to go, down by 8. That was a nice offense.
Yeah.
Whitney into Nicholas, and Nicholas finishes with 2.
A little horn set that everybody should know how to defend. The way she ran off, hit one screen and ran off the other high screen. Ended up with an absolutely open look under the basket.
Oh, great reverse from Chloe Gaynor, right on the button of the buzzer as well. But a great offense back. Whittington gives it to Shaw. Shaw back to Whittington. Whittington drives inside. Oh, what a block by Chloe Gaynor at both ends. Chloe Gaynor showcasing her skills. Millie Oates comes in for Ruth Thornley, who snuck back on there. And obviously her knee, she's limping a little bit. And she wants to stay on, but Noelle Cachera is saying, nope, you're not 100%. I can see you're not moving cleanly. And let's get you back in. Kayla Shaw. Oh, Millie Oates, very aggressive jump out. But it's Ashton from the corner, knocks down the 3. Extra pass, Chloe Gaynor saying that one was my fault.
Well, actually, I mean, the double team gave Nottingham the clue as to what to do, and they did it very, very well.
Great block at the other end by Kennedy Nicholas. The big girls going at each other.
You have a double team in the point guard position outside the 3-point line, then somewhere, and in this case right in the corner, is an open player if you move the ball quick enough.
Good news for the Eagles is Katie Nolan is back on the court. Giving Chloe Gaynor a break. Zoe Willis, nice spin move. Doesn't make the basket, and she knew it wasn't going in because she went right after the rebound. But Kayla Shaw got there first. Here's Ashton, bumps into Millie Oates. Shaw lobs it over the top. Nicholas can't make it. Well, that's going to be Eagles' ball. That was a terrible pass by Millie Oates to Molly Arnold, but they got the look of the bounce.
Molly Arnold was cut into the centre of the court, so to avoid catching the ball in that little trap area on the corners. Unfortunately, the ball was thrown like a rocket.
Well, it's going to be, and I'm not surprised that Kendrick Leibo took a time out there, and we're going to have to go to an advert, but we'll talk about it when we come back. So we've got 2:42 to go. Eagles up by 7, 53-46, which means they're winning the quarter by 9. Kendrick Liebert, good timeout.
Yeah, good time out from him, and thinking about the Eagles here, you know, coaches stress to players the importance of straight lines. If you can do a straight line cut, why do a curve? If you can do a straight line drive, why do a curve? And Zoe has found 2 straight line drives in this quarter and finished both of them well. And that was a finger roll, so she saw the defender coming in, so she just floated it over her. Very good move.
The other thing as well, we talked about at the beginning about how only 4 Eagles scored last week at Caledonia. And those 4 Eagles who scored last week have all got double figures tonight. Nice turn by Nicholas, but she can't make the layup. Nolan takes the rebound.
Again, Nottingham are paying the price of poor finishing in this quarter.
Zoe Willis, very, very much so now, is the point guard for this team. Molly Arnold gets it into Katie Nolan. She's going to go, and Nicholas definitely, just off. Kayla Shaw takes the rebound. And once again, they try to do the quick outlet transition, but
Yeah.
Whittington was not looking at all.
Two things that's letting them down this half is the feeding into the post has been pretty erratic by the Wildcats in the whole of this quarter, and secondly, they're not finishing at all well around the rim.
Well, Eagles on offense again inside the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Better ball movement as well. Better ball movement. Zoe Willis this time just did a little bit too much there, but almost got it back. Whittington's going to attack the basket. Doesn't make it. Great rebound though. 2 great rebounds, but they can't finish. Is it just this basket this side, Dave?
May could well be.
Is it a bit higher? Oh, Charity drives inside, out to Shaw. Gets the shot up with 2 seconds to go. Oh, and is fouled by Millie Oates. 2 seconds ago, Eagles played 22 seconds of fantastic defense, but unfortunately with 2 seconds left on the clock, Millie Oates just fouls the 3-point shooter, and she will go up the line to shoot 3. Katie Nolan gets a bit more break, so again are back out. I'm going to Kayla Short to the line to shoot 3. She was on 20 points at half time. She's still on 20 points, but now on 21. So in other words, in the first 8 minutes, 44 seconds, she hadn't scored a point. Just as well, that Eagles done such a good job on her because she's absolutely deadly, isn't she?
Yeah, it's given the Wildcats the break they needed because they've not been finishing well at all.
Got the 3 from the charity stripe. Eagles breaking the press. She's going to have it pinched. I was going to say she's going all day long, Kayla Shaw. But Zoe Willis was able to come up with the ball.
Zoe needs to do the maths. The last 2 offenses, she's had 3 players surround her, and she hasn't had to kick it out.
If you've got 3 players marking you, that means there must be,
you
must be
feel
2
those
more.
players. Kick the ball out.
6 seconds left on the shot clock. Marina Fernandez for 3. It hits the rim. Eagles can recycle.
I think the Wildcats might have got a hand on that 3-point shot.
Fernandez has to put it up. It hits the rim. Doesn't make it. We're inside the last 30 seconds of the third quarter. Eagles leading by 4 points, but Kayla Shaw, that's a nice step. In and out and drives to the basket and lays it in. 53-51. Eagles need to hold for the last shot. Didn't hold it for the last shot though. Wildcats with a chance to get level. Kayla Shaw's going to pop it in. Doesn't make it though. And that's lucky bounce for the Eagles. 3.2 seconds left. 53-51. I think the Eagles will just be happy not to give a shot to Nottingham here. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking. She's got the 3-point shot and missed it, luckily for the Eagles. That's exactly what I was saying. You didn't need to give that ball away,
No,
but they
not
did.
at all. Not at all. And you wouldn't want your coach wasting a timeout with 3 seconds to go. But Wildcats, despite paying the price for some pretty inaccurate lobs into players who are trying to post up around the basket, despite the fact that they've not been finishing very well around the rim, they're actually only 2 points down.
An excellent quarter. Both sides in the end were excellent quarter, but obviously the Eagles went into that 2 points down and came out with 2 points up, so they won the quarter by 4. I would suggest they take that in the next one as well, but 53-51, it's some game this, Dave.
Yeah, I think, you're right, but I still think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they pulled out. What was the highest lead?
7.
7 points, yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, things were looking good.
So we've got minutes before teams go back in. Big 10 minutes in both teams, Stevens, I would suggest.
And some talking about not finishing at the rim, there's some quite good finishing around in Chuck-a-Duck. At least 3, 4, 5 in the maybe in that inner circle.
Yeah, in the yellow.
Well, Coach Kashira has thought long and hard about this and has decided that Rachel Bland, even though she's got 4 fouls, is more used to her on the court.
Well, she's pretty much she's a spark of energy and a defensive specialist, isn't she? Really, in a lot of respects. So it's the Eagles to get us underway. 10 minutes of basketball left to play. 2 points to gap. Anybody's game. It's a long way from the basket, Katie Nolan. Marina Fernandez. Again, a flick shot is no good. Yeah, that's right. The Wildcats with a chance to level.
Well, Eagles defended that home play much better this time.
Oh, but Natalie Charity did really well to get the ball. Stewart got to the basket, really should have finished, but she didn't, so it's still 2 points. Perhaps if the quarter finishes 0-0, Eagles win. Katie Nolan driving in, flicks it back out. Chloe Gaynor's going to drive in. Nice turnaround jump shot, but doesn't make it. Kayla Shaw takes the rebound. She's very active, this girl, isn't she? Quick, as Dave said before. Natalie Charity. Kayla Shaw trying to find some space. Nice step back again, but doesn't make it. Zoe Willis took the rebound and was bumped quite hard by Kayla Shaw, but nothing given. Marina Fernandez with the ball now. Zoe Willis for 2, doesn't make it. Rachel Bland gets the ball in. Unfortunately can't find an Eagles player. We've played a minute and a half, no addition to the score. Time ticking down all the time. Oh, good hands by Chloe Gaynor. She thought she'd managed to get it off Maul Stewart's hand, but referee's quite correctly in my opinion. So here's 2 more substitutions. Ashton and Giles coming on for Charity and Leovold. This is Wildcats starting 5.
Yeah.
Marked it's not because Just realised
Well, I think
Kayla Shaw's taking the
Eagles
seat.
will be pleased to see Shaw go to the bench.
Whittington does well there and sets herself, but can't make the shot. Chloe Gaynor takes a great rebound. That's a foul.
I was actually looking at a good offense because Marina's going on the drive. Chloe rolls the basket and Rachel Bland snuck out because her defender went in to help against Chloe. That potentially was a really good offense.
Doesn't go, but Katie, decent shot off in the end, but missed it. But Katie Nolan was in with the rebound and is fouled.
The number of offensive rebounds she's getting is something the Wildcats have got to address. You know, it's possible that her player can't go out and help if she's getting this many rebounds near to the basket.
Oh, misses the first one. The other thing as well is that's Kennedy Nicholas's fourth foul with 7:46 to go. That could be a big moment. Kayla Shaw immediately back on the subs bench. Nolan makes a second. It's a 3-point game. And it's not actually Nicholas that takes a seat, it's Whittington. So, Coach Liebird's trusting Kennedy Nicholas.
He needs her rebound and he needs her defence on Nolan, but this is a chance for the Eagles to try and get that ball into Nolan if it's safe to do so. Put Nicholas under pressure.
Giles goes for the three, misses that one. Chloe Gaynor tidies it up. Good work as well for Chloe Gaynor. Finds Fernandez into Katie Nolan. Nicholas can't go with her. Yeah, that's so exactly it. Yeah.
You saw exactly what Nicholas did. Hands went straight up in the air, showed the referee. She was not even going to attempt to block that shot.
56-51 Eagles. Mal Stewart makes a hook. Oh, Katie Nolan, wow. Sorry if I give sound if I'm getting a, but
you're getting impressed with the rebound.
Yeah,
both ends of the floor.
Both ends of the floor.
Why not?
Yeah. Just a general play as well. Zoe Willis is going to go here at Ashton. Does go at Ashton, and it's in for 2 and 1. And I tell you what, you were impressed. You were telling me that Zoe Willis you thought was somebody looking. She's really played well second half.
Yeah, that was feedback I got from the game against Caledonia, that she was one to watch. Had potential.
It's a bit of a smart substitution here, I think, as well. 5-point lead. 7-point lead, 58-51. If you knocks this down, it's an 8-point lead. Give that Katie Nolan that little bit of a rest. And she's made it as well. So 59-51. Zoe Willis comes off as well. Molly Honor's getting advice off everybody. And
well, one stat that's very much in the Eagles' favour with,
it's a 3-point shot there by Mal Stewart.
Yeah, last thing they wanted, but never mind. It's in now, counted. But the other stat is there, Eagles 0 fouls, Wildcats 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Rachel Bland got away with a double dribble there. Oh, Marina Fernandez made space for the shot, couldn't make it.
Did good use of the dribble, cleared space for herself with the side step.
Mal Stewart's going to go for another 3-pointer, but she's missed it. Chloe Gaynor takes the rebound. Good offense by Nottingham, but it didn't quite work for them. Mal Stewart had just made one, thought, let's go for another one. Millie Oates back to Rachel Bland. Rachel Bland for 2, that one's in and out.
Nice drive and kick, just didn't quite drop the shot.
Kayla Stewart though shows her way to the races. Bray Ashton had all day really to make that. Well, I don't know about Wildcats, but it's a wild throw. Millie Oates is given the foul. First one for the Eagles. 5:29 to go, 59-54. Third foul on Millie Oates. She may have more fouls than minutes. Noella Cachera, I think, just wants to give, probably as much as anything, to give the team a bit of a rest. It's only her first time out as well. She's still got 2 more up her sleeve. So, 5:29 to go. Eagles 59, Wildcats 54. Noella Cachera called the timeout. Be interesting to see what 5 she comes back out with here.
Well, you mentioned that last foul, you know, and fouls could play a part in this, but Nottingham still 3, Wildcats 1, and Nottingham, if you look at the ball, lighting up the foul show on the board more than the Eagles are. And only one player in each team at the moment on 4.
Yeah, Nicholas for Wildcats and Bland for the Eagles. This is a chance here for Nottingham to get, Maul Stewart's wide open for 3 and netted that 3. Miscommunication somewhere.
Is that in her second, isn't it, in this quarter where she's somehow managed to get herself that wide open at the point position.
Yeah, Molly Arnold knocks down a 3.
Well, that was huge when you consider the way Nottingham have knocked down those 2 from the point. And she's there again, flaring into that position.
Giles for 3, that's just too long. Chloe Gaynor takes the rebound. It was Molly Arnold as well, so there's more points from the bench. Fernandez is going to go all the way to the basket. Oh, didn't make the layup. Really excellent to get to. Probably should have made it as well. Chloe Gaynor gets back to block it. Shaw for 3. There's another block in there by Rachel Bland. Katie Nolan gets it, and Marina Fernandez gets over halfway. She's going to attack. Rachel Bland, Molly Arnold. Eagles just settle it down. Back into Chloe Gaynor. Block shots all over the place. Kayla Shaw's going to go to the other end. Well, why didn't she go to the basket? Jane Giles very, very aggressive there. He's laid Chloe Gaynor out.
First thoughts are, I hope the groin's okay.
Well, she's up.
Well, I'll tell you what was crucial there was the 2 Eagles players didn't just stand at the halfway line and assume that Shaw would score. They bust their gut to get back and then rewarded picking up that loose ball and making sure Nottingham couldn't get the easy score. Great commitment there from the Eagles players, particularly the 2 who were trailing and made that extra effort to get there and stop the score.
I think we had about 4 or 5 block shots in a row almost. Well, it doesn't matter. The referees. The referee gave a very long explanation to Kendrick Liebert. He clearly thought the referee was still completely wrong, and he's been given a technical warning. But yes, Kennedy Nicholas going hard to the basket. Foul by Katie Nolan. 2 shots given. Had she picked the ball up? Not sure, but 2 shots given. Katie Nolan's 3rd foul. 62-57. Kennedy Nicholas on the line. Normally a pretty good free throw shooter. Knocks the first one down.
From here, it looks as though she actually had a toe on the line.
Well, she's very, very careful when she always looks down and when she places her feet and then flicks the ball in the air. I noticed that in the first half.
Yeah.
So it's 62-59, makes them both. Marina Fernandez's shot is off again. Oh, Jane Giles just not watching at all, and the ball was just thrown at her by Ashton, and it just bounced off her shoulder because she wasn't even watching. And it's good feet, or good hands from Maul Stewart.
Both sides taking care of the ball at this stage of the game is going to be very important.
Well, neither side are making a high percentage of shots, are they? That's exactly what you've just said,
Yeah.
Dave. And they're absolutely wide open.
2v0, fast break.
This is where the Eagles have got to stay calm, got to stay composed. Nottingham on the charge. Eagles, remember, were up by 7.
Great back door. I think she was fouled. I'm not sure that's in the act of shooting, but it does put Nottingham in the penalty. Now he's giving end line ball. Good, correct decision.
Yep. 62-61.
But it was a great back cut because she was overplayed and saw the opportunity to make the back cut and did it very effectively.
Nottingham on a good run at the moment. Molly Arnold for 2. Molly Arnold makes the 2.
That's 2 long-range shots she's put in.
Good defensive game by the Eagles. Maul Stewart, those wide open again. That one's off. Let it go. Let it go. Chloe Gainer.
Good pass.
Thought about giving it to Molly Arnold again, but does lightning strike through it? Oh,
That's 2 turnovers when they absolutely didn't need them.
Gales short, misses it though. And so
Well, that was
Kishera's
a
telling us
lucky
slow
break.
down.
That was a lucky break.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dave.
And, you know,
Very poor turnover, but they managed to get the break.
I can understand why Coach Kishera wants to keep both timeouts if this is going to be a tight game. But these Eagles have got to stop giving making unforced errors.
Travel.
Agreed.
Picked it up. I think she thought possibly dribbling it, but she did pick it up. 203, 64-61. Where's your money, anybody? Where's your money?
This is about Nottingham showing patience to create the good chance and Eagles looking after the ball when they're in possession. No crazy passes.
Nicholas, well, she's made the 2, but I'm not sure that was the shot she wanted to take. But she made it, and it's a 1-point game. 64-63. Zoe Willis bringing the ball over halfway. Really is going to go right down to the wire, this one. Zoe Willis. Eagles going deep into the shot clock every time. Molly Arnold again. She's got to make this. Doesn't, but Katie Nolan gets the rebound. A lot of people think she was fouled. There's Nottingham away with the ball.
I don't think she was fouled. She was just too hurried with the shot.
Oh,
Great
nice play.
pass.
Oh, offensive foul
Oh
call.
my goodness.
Offensive foul called on Jane Giles. No basket. Timeout called by... I'm not sure who's by Newcastle Eagles. 1:13 to go, 1-point game, and we'll go to an advert.
A car designer cares about even the tiniest detail, which surely should be matched by the way a retailer selects, prepares, and checks every single car. That's what makes a Vertu Motors used car so much more than an ordinary one. Experience this on the phone, online, or with a video appointment. Because at Vertu Motors, it's all in the detail.
Well, Coach Liebert's got 2 timeouts left. Coach Cashero's got 1 now. 1:13 to go. This could be a long 1 minute 13 seconds, Dave.
Yeah. Been particularly impressed with the Wildcats, the way they've organised their offense to create good looks. Nicholas in particular, I think, has been quite clever in the way she's been getting her shot off. Well, Eagles have possession here and quite naturally are taking the ball into the front court.
14-second shot clock.
Maybe with them on 5 fouls and in the penalty, a nicely worked ball into Nolan would be useful. Might also create a drive if they're overplaying her for another player.
That's tight defense as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
10 seconds to go. Zoe Willis is looking for a gap. I'm not sure she's got a gap. Finds out Katie Nolan back to Rachel Bland. Rachel Bland has to put the shot up and makes the shot. Makes the 2. Makes the 2. Incredible. Incredible shot.
Now that's gone on Nottingham. Surely that score's wrong.
Yeah, that score's wrong. Yeah, 66-63, and we're inside the last minute. And I don't think Kendrick Liebert was too impressed there, because I think he'd called that timeout. I think he'd said to the table, if they score, I want a timeout, and they didn't call it straight away. But 66-63, 58.6 to go, and we're off to another advert again. So, I think we're assuming Nottingham are going to advance the ball here as well, Dave?
Yeah, and we can't necessarily assume that they've set up something for the 3-point shooters, because there's quite a lot of seconds on the clock, and Coach Shearer may have talked about all things technical about how to want to set up the defence, but one thing I hope she slipped in is do not foul a 3-point shooter.
All about the defence now. Kayla Shaw. Good foot by Marina Fernandez. Be another 14-second though, but there's 4 seconds off. Well,
she was a centre-back under pressure. You would have loved that, wouldn't you?
You would have, indeed. I saw plenty of that this afternoon. We had to defend for 45 minutes in the second half to come away with a 2-1 home away win. Josh Cruz, our set-off, would have been proud of Marina Fernandez there. Oh, Giles has slipped through. Oh, and it's a foul by Chloe Gain as well. Jane Giles makes the 2. Chance to level the game. Just as it was thinking it in my mind, and I didn't want to say it. Is this the moment where we could get an overtime game? Nope, she's missed it, and great rebound by Marina Fernandez. Hunted that one down.
Need some wide space in here from the Eagles. Let's spread this Nottingham defence out.
That's exactly what Noelle Cacheros just said. She's spread her arms wide like an eagle. Rachel Bland uses Marina Fernandez to come off. Zoe Willis has the ball now. The Eagles lead by a point. Zoe Willis is going to try and get to the basket, and she's fouled.
She's fouled, and that's on the line.
And that's Jane Giles' 5th foul. She will have to leave the game. I'd say she's been 5 fouls called for, and she hasn't agreed with any of them. She needs to leave the court. Marnie Whittingham. Well, I doubt whether Zoe Willis has ever shot 2 more important free throws. Rookie professional.
35 seconds. You look at it from Nottingham's point of view, and they've still got a chance to run 2 offences.
Well, they're certainly going to have to run a good one because they're 2 points down now.
Eagles just got the 1 foul to give, which is not a bad position to be in a tight game like this.
This is the second. Chloe,
what a rebound.
It's gone the other way. It's gone the other way. But Chloe Gaynor almost, and it's a timeout by Coach Liebert. And we aren't going to advert, I've been reliably informed, so we can continue to talk. So 32.5, and Coach Liebert's taking his last timeout. Again, he'll probably advance the ball.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, the advantage to him in terms of putting it in on his own end line, he takes up quite a lot of the clock, which reduces the time that the Eagles have got. But, you know, it's also the danger that he loses the ball in the back court. So he'll probably plump for putting it into the front court. And Coach Kashira will tell people how important it is to take a good defensive stand against the inbound ball and read the way they're moving the ball and move your position accordingly. See man, see ball. Do not foul a 3-point shooter.
So Liebert's out of timeout. Kashira's still got 1 to give. And as you said, Eagles have got 1 foul to give. Nottingham no doubt have drawn up a play. At the very least they want a 2-point. Very least. Now will it go quickly or will it not? Well, the first thing we know is they have advanced the ball. So
well, they've only got 14 of these 32 seconds that are left.
Which of course means if they take a long 14, if they do go, so we're looking at Eagles could have the ball for the last offense.
Yep, 18 seconds if they go all the way.
Well, Stewart gets the ball. Ashton from way downtown, it doesn't go, and that's a foul. That's a foul.
Oh.
Foul's on 22, Whittington, and that'll be 2 shots to the Eagles. This is where it's difficult for a coach, Dave. You have to talk me through this, because by getting that foul, the clock gets stopped. I know the Eagles get 2 shots, but it makes a difference for the timings, doesn't it, as well?
Well, you still rather Eagles had these 2 shots than not.
It's Rachel Bland is going to the line as well.
And of course he hasn't, Coach Liebert hasn't got a timeout left.
That was the point I was making before.
Yeah.
Noella Cachera has.
He'd be giving instructions right now. This is where need leadership on the floor.
Rachel Bland knocks the first one down.
Well, that helps because they now need 3 points to tie the game, which may force them into a long shot. That makes it even harder for them.
Yeah. So, no timeout, but a substitution can be called. So Natalie Charity coming in because she can be a 3-point shoot. You have to go the full length of the court as well, of course, Dave. Yeah. Oh, Chloe Gaynor stole it. Almost stole it. Mal Stewart gets it back. Natalie Charity, they're going to be looking for Kayla Shaw. They've got to be looking for Kayla Shaw. No fouls, the Eagles, as you said before. Kayla Shaw, good defense by the Eagles as well. Mal Stewart for 3 is off the ring. She gets it back though. We're in the last 4 seconds. Mal Stewart has to go for the 3-point shot, misses it, and the Eagles have won 69-65. What an excellent game of basketball, and what a great win for Newcastle Eagles when you consider at this moment in time they're still on at full strength. That is a fantastic win, a really fantastic win.
Well, certainly when you consider the way the first quarter went and the way they pulled. I mean, the key was probably the way they pulled back in the second quarter. It gave them a good feeling as they went into the halftime locker room, and Yeah, it's been a pretty even second half, but they've done the right things at the right time.
And I think for me, one of the keys as well was taking the ball out of Marina Fernandez's hands and letting Zoe Willis run the offense. I think that made a big difference as well. But Nottingham were right there all the way as well, and I think just their 3-point shot let them down a little bit, although Maul Stewart made some good ones
in the third quarter. Their finishing around the rim was real.
So we'll have to get Mr. Elkin's 5 ways to finish around the rim book published, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So that's it from us, 69-65. I haven't got a lot of stats, but I can just tell you for the Eagles, Katie Nolan has 17 points, Marina Fernandez 14, Zoe Willis 14, Chloe Gaynor 10, and for Nottingham we have Kayla Shaw on 25, Maul Stewart on 15, and Kennedy Nicholas on 13. But the one stat that makes is all about is Newcastle Eagles 69, Nottingham Wildcats 65. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, and we'll be back here for the next WBBL game on November the 5th when it's the Essex Rebels in town on Bonfire Night.